If I asked you who was a character you could think of with the first name John, who would you say? No, not John Cena, dumbass. And that's not even a character, that's his real name. Anyways, the character that you're probably thinking of is none other than the gunslinging John Marston.
What the fuck?
When you think top tier characters, this is who you think of. There will not ever be a man that will be more loved than John. Never in a million years would you put anybody over this here cowboy. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host TTG, and this is From Most Love to Second Favorite, the John Marston story. May of 2010, we were blessed with this beauty, Red Dead Redemption. I'm sure you played it, you better played it. I was 11 years old at the time, and honestly, I had no business playing this game like most games and like most people. And I don't even know how I got the game now that I think about it. Nonetheless, it is a fantastic title and it gives us a life lesson, which was we're all in this together. I don't know if it even gave us lessons for real. I ain't learned nothing. But what we did learn was about John Marston and his journey. We learned that he turned a hoe into a housewife. That's not even a joke. He literally married the woman that slept with his entire former gang members. And I ain't gonna lie, he's a better man than me. He also has a son named Jack, and he also had a daughter that passed away, but we don't know anything about her, so RP to little bro.
I really miss my nigga.
Playing through the game, you obviously start to grow and become accustomed to this John Marston character. You come to the conclusion, damn, this guy's seen a lot. And we feel this way in games because when you're watching through the eyes of that person, you're playing with them, it's kind of like you're that person because you see every single thing that they go through. And that's in movies and whatever. It's just kind of like being a fly on the wall. And immediately at the start of the game, he's thrown back into that life of crime that we find out later on he was trying to avoid. And this is because of two FBI agents that basically has John's wife and son captive until John Marston goes and hunt down his former gang members, these three guys right here, and pretty much turn them all in or take them out, and then you could get your family back and live happily ever after. That's foreshadowing. And mind you, he haven't seen none of these men in years. So he literally has to go hunt them down in the early 1900s with horses as cars. He can't call them. He can't use a Find My Friend app. He can't hack their phones and look them up. He can't do nothing. And that's really why I'm glad I wasn't born in those times. Being in a world with no cars and no advanced technology,
She kind of bad though.
I just couldn't. I'm so glad I was born in today's world. On top of that, I'm black. I'm not trying to live in a time where I'm not even one. I barely wanted to. Okay, anyways. But I really do think that's just so crazy because it was hard for people to contact each other. Like, you gotta send messages or tell somebody to tell somebody. Like, just imagine your girl say, hey baby, I'm gonna go a few towns over, I'll be back in a few days. And you just like, okay honey, be safe out there. And you just don't see her. No contact or nothing. You just gotta hope that she come back home. Like, bro, for all you know, she could be getting hit by a train. Not that train, this train. But going back to John, he's just simply trying to put this life of crime behind him, and it just keep catching up to him no matter what. It just constantly pull him back further and further. After you go through all these trials and tribulations, you do what the nice officers ask you to do, and you get your family back, and you live happily. Bella, you messing up my recording. And you live happily ever after.
Oh shit!
Really?
After John ended up getting bodied, it's just kind of that like, bro, what the hell moment. Because you don't ever really think a character that's a main character is going to die. Especially in video games, because who you gonna play as? Like, who the hell could you possibly play as if the main character died? Well, none other than the last man standing from the Dutch Vanderlindegang gang, ladies and gentlemen, Jack Marston.
What the fuck?
But after going through the Red Dead story and experiencing John's life and learning more of his story from his past, it all comes to an end. And you just sit there and you be thinking, damn, I want to play more of this game. I want to know more about this character. And I'm sure everybody had the same mindset of they're definitely going to make it Red Dead Redemption 2, right? And sure enough, they did. And it's a prequel. So we will play as John Marston again. Or maybe Dutch. Oh my god, man, who the fuck is... We find out we won't be playing as Dutch or John, but a new character by the name of Arthurmorgan. Oh look, on the screen right here, that's my Twitter. Go ahead and follow it. And I don't know why Twitter ain't got no links, bro. Like, why do people have to manually go search? All right, never mind, just go follow the Twitter, bro. Okay, back to the video. And me personally, I was open to it. I definitely wanted to play as John, but I was like, why not? But the gaming world wasn't messing with it in the slightest. As far as what I seen, I could be wrong, but the things I seen, people was not liking the decision, and it's obviously for a good reason, especially since the trailer showed Arthurmorgan pretty much being just like this loyal bad guy that stands by Dutch's side, and he seemed to have no real structure to his character. And after we got to play the game, every single person who was pissed about not playing as John recanted their story. And you probably saying, TTG, I thought the people wanted to play as John. And you right, they did want to play as John. Past tense, my boy, pay attention. But they started to really take a big liking to Arthur more instead. This isn't an Arthur Morgan story, so I'm not going to go into full detail on his character into this video. And by no means am I saying that people stop liking John Marston or he's not a great character. None of that extra stuff people gonna be trying to spin. So pay attention. See, this was wrong with this class. Y'all don't never pay no damn attention. So people didn't stop liking John Marston, but they definitely started to put him under Arthur. And I hear some of y'all now, TTG, I didn't put Arthur over John. I think he's better than Arthur. Okay, you cool. Damn, you didn't do what everybody else did. You didn't change your opinion. You stand to, like, shut up, bro. Damn, sit down. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be so mean to y'all. I think I'm just so mean because you watching this here and you didn't press that subscribe button. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Did you like that segue? It was okay. It was alright. But we upload every Saturday. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you are new, and share with your friends. But continuing on with the story, I do feel like the love for John that the entire gaming community had went from, oh my gosh, it's John Marston, to, oh my gosh, it's Arthur. Oh, it's John Marston too. Like, do that make sense? Like, he ain't hated or nothing by any means. It just is a new sheriff in town. So he's still loved, but not as loved as Mr. Morgan's. So you see the math that I'm doing is the mathing. But the fact that Arthur character is more cut into than John is something that definitely plays a big reason. I feel like we get things out of Arthur that we never really got out of John. Like John's character, you pretty much learn he hates his former gang. He wants to live a better life. He left behind his life of crime and he just want to be a decent family man. And that's pretty much it. I know it's a little bit more, but that's pretty much the base of it. But Arthur's character, on the other hand, they go more in detail than that. You know, you think he's this loyal man to Dutch that pretty much does nothing but follow orders, but you start to really understand he's not like that at all. And honestly, he's really one of the first characters in the game to really start understanding Dutch isn't who he say he is. And you see Arthur really be conflicted about the choices that he has made and he is making, and he accepts his fate for the decisions he's made. But in understanding all the things that he went wrong, he ends up helping other people and making their lives better, including John. But when you add all those things up, you get a way more detailed character, which pretty much makes people gravitate towards them, and it starts to put John's character on a back burner. And I personally thought I was going to be the only one that be like this after I first finished Red Dead Redemption 2. Even on my second playthrough of that game, I didn't want to finish beating the game because as much as I love John, I didn't want to finish playing as Arthur. And I think that's what happened with a lot of people. At least that's what I seen. I just think it's more of an emotional attachment with Arthur's character than it ever was with John, and that's completely okay. But John Marston isn't by any means hated or looked at different. He's simply just no longer the golden child. And that would be the videos, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much for the love and the support. What y'all think about what I have to say? You feel like I'm wrong? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know. Also, follow my socials right down in the description. I can't talk today. And DM me if you want to have a conversation, rather it's games or life. And click one of these videos right here on the screen if you haven't seen them before. These are definitely bangers. I approve. And as always, it's been your host, Ty Talks Gaming, and I will see you all when the sun sets. Peace and love.